Oh my god, yeah, this does. After watching this video, do you want to go and read the video? Read the video. Keep reading, keep watching, and add Melarama to your life. Oh, I missed saying this. Hey guys, this is Sonali, the Melodramatic Bookworm. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here today taking a break from my booktube break to rant about a book that I read recently, which I had a lot of expectations from, but it just broke my heart. It disappointed me so much, and I got so angry, like I can't even tell you. But I have to tell you, and that is what this whole video is about. So the book I'm talking about is The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. This is a hardcover, and I'm not going to hold this all the while, so I'm going to put it here. Before we get on with this video, I'd just like to say that I make book related videos on this channel, and occasionally a few travel related and a few movie related videos as well. So if you like what you see, then don't forget to hit subscribe and click on the bell icon beside the subscribe button so that you can stay updated as and when I post new videos. So a quick disclaimer that all the opinions expressed in this video are mine. I did not like this book, so I am talking about this book and ranting about this book. This does not mean that I disrespect your opinion. If you like this book, I'm happy it worked for you. It just did not work for me. The reason I was so excited to read this book was because I read The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I think it was last year. Yeah, I read it last year and I absolutely loved it. So imagine my extreme joy when this book came out and when the publisher sent me this book, which I'm really thankful for. But the problem with this book starts not immediately, because at least until halfway through you're reading the book and you're like, Erin Morgenstern's writing is so beautiful, so atmospheric, so lovely. I mean, it's so poetic. I mean, I really dig this. He's going in somewhere, there must be a reason for that, and then he's like coming out of some other place, there must be another reason for that. This chapter and this chapter don't have any connection, but there's going to be an explanation. It's coming. But the problem comes when the character Zachary Ezra Rollins, he decides to go into every door that's put in front of him without any questions. Okay, like, does he have no curiosity or fear? Like, this door could be the doorway to hell. Like, this door could be the doorway to all my dreams crashing down. Absolutely no fear. Like, I don't buy that. Okay, like, no sane person in this world, like, he goes into doors, sees people disappearing in there, and sees cats and toads and whatnot coming out of thin air or coming out of doors that are literally out of bounds for him. It's like the third floor, okay, for the first years in Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Like, I had to make a Harry Potter reference, but yes, there's also a Harry Potter reference in here, but that's beside the point. So it's like that. Like, he goes in there, he sees things are weird, things are disappearing, then he goes somewhere underground, and apparently there's a harbor, and then there's all these weird sort of stuff that's happening. And all this happens when he comes across a book in his university's library, if I'm not mistaken, and then he reads that, and then something happens which takes him to that particular harbor and to that particular keeper. I can't even begin to explain the plot of this book because there I feel like there's poetry. Okay, there's poetry in this novel, but there is no plot. Like, it's like even the plot is winging itself as it's going by. Like, every page turned, you're like, I don't know what's going to come. I mean, it's so mysterious, and it's so, I don't know, heartbreaking, I want to call it, but it's not really heartbreaking. It really breaks your mind. But the point is, even the plot is thinking the same thing. Like, you just turn the page, let us both see what's going to happen. That is what this thing is. I'm really mortified, okay, to be talking like this about a book by an author who I really love. Like, in my defense, I've read only one book. She has only one other book other than this, but still, I'm seeing so many people reading the book and loving it, and there are also people who have read the book and not loved it. But I can see why people love this book, but it was just not for me, and I am like, I'm not sorry, but I'm really disappointed and I'm really angry because I had so many expectations from this book and none of them, absolutely none of them came. Like, none of them were met. Okay, so even if I said that there's no plot and it's all gone awry and even the plot doesn't know what it's about, let me just try to put it into a few words, which I know I'm going to make a really bad job of, because first of all, I found that there's absolutely no reason behind what happened in the plot. So Zachary Ezra Rollins creates video games, okay, and he is studying in a university for his PhD, I don't even remember, and he stumbles across this book in his university library which is not from this age. And when he stumbles across it, what happens is he finds a doorway to an underground library, and then he enters the doorway and he goes inside, and then he meets weird people, and he comes across this door all on his own, like through circumstances that he creates himself because he wanted to do something, and that is weird. I'm not judging people who want to do weird things, but you need to have an explanation. Like, Zachary Ezra Rollins was not shown as an eccentric character. If you had told me he has the affinity to do such stuff, then I would be like, okay, that's such a Zachary thing to do, and I would have accepted it. But no, he goes into that library and weird people come up to him and ask him to do things, and he does them without any questions, and it goes on like this, and he almost gets himself and the others killed. That's it. That is the whole plot, if you could call it that. That is. You can see how angry I am about this book, because I was expecting so much from it and all I got was a honey-filled starless sea, which is sort of a metaphor for something, I think. I don't know. But like I said before, Erin Morgenstern's writing, it's poetic, no doubt about it. I have absolutely no doubt that she writes beautifully. Even when I was angry, I was more angry about the fact that this beautiful writing was sort of it's a strong phrase, but I felt that it was a sort of a waste, on the plotless mishmash that was going on. And so when you don't give me a plot, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to become Zachary Ezra Rollins and just go blundering through the pages of the book and just think that, okay, I am going to do whatever this next page is telling me to do? I am not going to do that, because I need that, that hold, that anchor to the plot. I need to feel connected to the story, to the plot, to the characters, and without that, I just... Okay, so if you are not giving me a plot, at least tell me why the characters are doing what they are doing, because at least that would make me understand why they're doing it. I was like, okay, there are reasons here at play, the author has given me reasons, and I am happy with them. If not happy, I'm at least satisfied with them. But no, Zachary is just walking blindly into anything and everything that he can see. Blindly. Like, go into a creepy looking underground library kind of thing, which I really can't explain, where weird things happen. Yes, ma'am. Enter a crypt to find out things that you don't even know. Looking for explanations. Yes, absolutely yes. Attend a ball where all the people look very shady. Yes, I will do it. Dive into a sea that is not filled with water but with something else, aka the Starless Sea. Yes, absolutely, I will do it. Meet a character from the book, from the fable that you've read, who's supposed to be 1,000,000 years old. Yeah, that is possible. I have absolutely no doubts that, that character can be alive. And I will meet that character and I will Embrace them with everything I have. Yes, I will not question anything. And then walk on keys and bones. You tell him to walk on keys and bones and he will go and do exactly that. Hey, but this guy is supposed to be a video game creator and a bookworm. He's supposed to have questions. He's supposed to question the logic or the lack of logic. He's supposed to ask people why they're doing and he's supposed to have a reason for doing what he is doing as well. And every time he walked into something, just because he saw it and it looked mysterious and he was curious about it, I just felt like smacking his face so hard. And his explanation for doing these weird things, I was probably meant to do it, so I will do it. And this guy is not there. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's not there in whatever he's doing. He's supposed to be doing a lot of other things, but all he's doing is impulsive stuff. Like, he sees a trap door on his way, he'll just jump into that. It didn't happen. I'm just giving an example. He's walking from his room to the university library, he sees a trap door, he'll jump in. No doubt about it. It's like his motto is, I guess I have to do this. I don't have any other choice. What other choice could I have? That's it. That's all there is to his character. There are no shades, no explanation to his character. Like, give me some layers to what Zachary Ezra Rollins is all about, right? But not only him, all the characters in this book are the same. They are so one-dimensional. Only their descriptions are poetic and beautiful. Nothing more than that. And I get so angry, like, someone is coming from somewhere and then someone came in the first 200 pages. From there you're bringing this person and you're getting them to meet them, and it makes no sense. And what was the whole point of it all? Like, why were Zachary and the rest of the characters doing what they did? Why? Like, there's absolutely no rhyme or reason to them. Why did they do it? Is it just literary creativity that the author has taken? Like, I have nothing against the author. Believe me, I have nothing against the author. It's just that I get so angry when things like this happen. Like, the author is like, I'm going to take literary creativity and then I'm not going to take the reader into account. Like, the reader does not figure anywhere in their scheme of things, in the plot scheme of things, in the character scheme of things. The characters are just going on. They're just doing. They see one door, they go through it, and then they see another door through it, and then they go through that. And then whatever happens is just based on chance, and I don't even know. They're basically bringing the whole thing, okay? And they're walking away from the questions like they don't exist. Like, the reader is like, why are you doing this? The character is like, bye. And they're off. And there's romance between characters, which feels like it's just there because it's there. It's just there for the heck of it. And that makes me really angry, because however much they tried to show that this person and this person were in love with each other, are in love with each other, and this whole story is like a fight for them to come together, and I'm like, what? Where did you tell us that? Where did you tell us that? And why are you bringing this new point? I'm not going to call it a plot point, I'm not going to call it a dimension, because they are that thing is neither. So why are you bringing it into this whole whatever this mishmash is? Like, it does not make sense. It feels like you're just bringing in the romance because you want to give the characters something to do. And insta love, in the 2 seconds that those characters met, it's absolutely not possible, and I will not take that. No ma'am, no, I'm not taking it. And about the non-linear narrative, I am like, I loved it in The Night Circus, okay? I found it so beautiful, I loved it. And this one, it just annoyed me, because I have, at no point in time do I know where I am exactly. Halfway through the chapter or halfway through whatever was going on over there, I'm like, oh, so they are here, and then I have to go back and I'm like, okay, Zachary, where are you again? Okay, this person, where are you again? What is going on? And this is why it's so difficult to read, because there's no plot as such. Absolutely no plot. And the moment you're like getting into one thread, what happens is another thread starts and it yanks you back from this. So by the time you're processing something else happens and it overlaps in ways that it will like, you're like, तुम्हारे बस की बात नहीं है, आप रहने दो. It just, so basically it just messes with your mind, okay? It's such a major hodgepodge. I never thought I would be saying this about an Erin Morgenstern book, but oh my god, it's a hot mess. I know this seems a little harsh, but I really am not sorry for putting this out there, especially because I was, going about to lose my mind by the end of this. I got so angry, I just wanted to chuck the book across the room. When you're writing a story, when something is going on, you don't have to describe, like, the plant was green and lush and big and all that. You don't have to tell me that. Tell me what the character is doing in relation with what is around him. Please do not tell me that there was a plant which he passed by. It does not make sense if he is not interacting with that particular thing. Like, I am not making sense. But what I'm trying to say is, if you are going on for 2 pages about what is around him and not telling me what Zachary Ezra Rollins is really up to, then I will be very annoyed, because I want to know what Zachary Ezra Rollins is doing. He is the central character in this book. There's no conflict here. In this entire book, there's no conflict. They're just falling through doors and jumping into seas and rowing boats and doing whatever. And then by the end of it, they're like, oh my god, we've been through a lot, and yes, we are finally together. That does not make sense. That does not make sense. It's just plain, I don't want to use that word, but you need to tell me, okay? You need to tell me, why is the sea like that? Why are there no stars? Why is it called a starless sea? Why is there a harbor? Who built the harbor? How did the starless sea start? Why was the harbor built upon the starless sea? Where were there harbors? Why were all the harbors demolished? Tell me in plain words, not in like Allegra. She went to some obscure part of the world and she started demolishing doors. Don't give me that. I need explanations. As a reader, I really need explanations, and it absolutely breaks my heart when there's no proper explanation. Description, there's much of. Okay, he's walking through this hallway, there are portraits. What are the portraits doing? Nothing. And there's like pages and pages of those explanations. There's a library, there's a dining table in the library. Did I remember correctly? I have no idea. But there's a table in the library, there are books, one door opens, one girl comes in. Tell me why, no? See, at the end of it all, after reading the book, I was like, maybe I'm stupid for not understanding this book. Like, for a couple of minutes, I really doubted myself. And then I was like, wait, what? You did not like a book does not mean you are stupid. And then I sat and listed down all these problems that I had with the book, and I'm like, that makes sense. That really makes sense. And then there will be a few people who will be like, you need to be an intellectual to really understand this book. And I'm like, okay, thank you very much. I don't want to be an intellectual if intellectual means being you. If you ask me, I would not recommend this book, but a lot of people are loving it, and there are also people who do not like it, who are in the same boat as me. But what I will say is, it's really unpredictable who will like it and who won't like it. I just say that for this book, you just have to read and find out. If there are people who have loved The Night Circus and hated this, like me, there are people who have not liked The Night Circus and have loved this book, and there are also people who have loved the first book and loved this one as well. So it's a really delicate combination over there. So I can't really tell you what to do with this particular book, which happens really rarely, because if I don't like a book, I usually say, hello, please stay away from it. But this one is not like that. So I'll just say, just go by your gut, and if you don't like it, come on up and we'll just rant and gossip about it. So that's all the rant material that I have for the Starless Sea. I don't have any other book which I had so much rant material on that I wanted to do a video on it, and I broke my booktube break to come back and post this. But yes, I am planning a couple of videos, not pressuring myself. It will come out gradually. I think I'm not sure when they will come out, but I'm planning to film a couple of videos. So if you are interested in those, then please stay tuned and please subscribe to my channel. So, did you read the Starlessy? Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of this video? Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? Do you want to go and read the Starlessy now? Do you want to discuss with me? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. If you like this video, please like it and share to spread the word. And if you like my content and would like to see more from me, don't forget to hit subscribe and click on the bell icon beside the subscribe button to get notified as and when I post new videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, keep reading, keep watching, and add Melarama to your life.